With the passing of Tupac Shakur being reinvestigated by police, now using new age technology to find who is truly guilty, fans were extremely upset with the involvement of Snoop Dogg, as it is pretty concerning. During the police's investigation, they were able to find an interview from a now arrested man named Keefe D, who said that Tupac was targeted because he was reaching for his firearm when he was stopped at the red light alongside the opposing vehicle.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As Tupac already knew that something was about to go down. He was just getting ready, but sadly he was not fast enough. However, that interview would end up going viral. This would get the attention of Snoop Dogg, who would then go on to reveal that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge on the night that it all went down. But after some last minute changes, he suddenly didn't go.
You were with Tupac though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
Saying during the Tyson.
yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
This seemed to anger a lot of fans online. At the time, 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Many have speculated that Snoop could have been receiving a tip that something was going to happen to Tupac, or that he was being targeted on that night, so he avoided in getting into the BMW. As on the night that Tupac passed, this wasn't the only run-in he had with ops. He had 2 confrontations within the span of 3 hours, making everyone wonder if Tupac was truly being followed the entire night. The police would then further investigate Snoop Dogg, where a tweet would end up sharing, Snoop Dogg arrested in connection to the Tupac Shakur incident. Police are questioning a recent interview by the rapper where he claims to be supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight. More to come. This would end up resulting in another old Snoop Dogg video then going viral, where it would state that him and Tupac were allegedly very close friends. However, 2 days before the passing of Tupac, Snoop suddenly felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave them. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them. I want to do some music with them. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
This went on to make everything feel extremely suspicious. The new police force that are reinvestigating Tupac's case even laid out multiple new theories that they might have. One officer revealed that Tupac, after their investigation, was an industry plant with the job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
What did you find most fascinating about the alternative history of Tupac?
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Then with the plan obviously not working, he then suddenly passed. This all ended up making a small niche community of Tupac Shakur fans want to investigate further in everyone's involvement. Because who can you really trust at this moment? As this is when they would find a 2010 interview with a rapper named Tretch, and everything got weird from here. As in 2010, Tretch was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a concert. Tretch, Tupac, Suge Knight, and Snoop Dogg were all close homies way back in the day. They all even worked on music together, but here's where it gets interesting. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording, and he placed his camera onto the ground. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Tretch about Tupac, to which Tretch responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pop still alive? Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. We good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then just 3 weeks later, there would be a video released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac chilling in a parking lot in Cuba, just like Tretch said.
Look, zoom in. That's Pop, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This ended up creating the entire Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and it has been the biggest theory of Tupac being alive ever since. However, the evidence found in 2024 is making it seem like it's not a theory anymore, as it would be this moment when Suge Knight would also confirm that Tupac is alive and well. He has said so in so many interviews over the course of the last 2 decades, where he mentioned that Tupac was allegedly doing fine in the hospital before his passing, where Suge says, and I quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
However, what's really weird about this is the police records state that Tupac was allegedly in a very deep sleep when arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was sleeping? It doesn't really seem to add up. However, when you confirm it to a 2008 interview, 10 years apart, Suge Knight stood on business and said the exact same thing. Tupac was alive and that he was living well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left me.
Investigators would look into why Suge Knight stopped talking about Tupac for the course of 10 years after the 2008 interview. It turns out after that interview 2 weeks later, Suge Knight was targeted at a nightclub that he owned when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. Suge Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything at the time, as he immediately knew that it was likely due to him talking about Tupac in a public interview. But this is where the story got crazy, as Suge Knight's own son, Suge Jr., would end up making the exact same mistake. In 2018, Suge Jr. took it to Instagram stating that Tupac is alive and that he's living in Malaysia. Right after Suge Jr. posted it, he would then post another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone messaged him, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." Suge Jr. would begin panicking in real time, starting to post several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities like 50 Cent and even Beyonce, making it seem like someone was going after him for leaking all the info, as on the photo of Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe that it's a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain social media clout, others believe that it's real. He would be the one to know more about the case than anyone in the world, considering who his father is, and that his father was allegedly with Tupac alive in the hospital. As a part of this new police investigation, they have two sides. One being the side of theories, that they believe Tupac could be alive and the evidence proving it, but they also have a side of the evidence believing that he is sadly gone. When you compare the both sides, there's something missing, and you tell me if you can find it. As recently, the police just arrested a man named Keefe D in connection to this crime.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over and they were leaving, they ended up spotting an op inside of the lobby of the hotel, as this wouldn't be the only confrontation Tupac was in throughout the whole night, making many believe that he was being followed.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Thankfully, security would end up breaking up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops, leading into Tupac and Suge exiting the hotel, going to their own hotel to go change. The two would then go off to a club to go party it up. At around 11 p.m., the two began driving to the club, going down the Las Vegas Strip with their windows down, loud music playing, and then continuously looking out of their window. This is what led into things going down right in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
With the aftermath being a mystery for over 2 decades, the police now started investigating a concerning interview by Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show, where he would go on to reveal the details of finding Tupac and literally pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Mind you, this was a cold case for over 2 decades. DJ Vlad would want some sort of evidence to prove that Keefe D is telling the truth here, as this case has not been talked about in forever. This is where Keefe D would share a never-before-seen police interrogation video on the night of the crime, confirming that he was there.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then, Tupac's busy getting evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they were also able to find the reaction of Keefe D of Tupac's passing and showing his true emotion.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that shit happen. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude. You know what I'm saying? I lost my Colombian plug. You know what I'm saying? Been having the feds up for 15 years. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't catch a break, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I did time for it.
However, this is where things get very weird. Keefe D wrote an entire book on allegedly being involved in Tupac's passing titled Compton Street Legend. It includes hints towards literally doing the crime and so much more. But why is he now just being arrested for it after 2 decades? Fans believe that it is a cover-up, throwing an elderly man inside a prison for the passing of Tupac due to all of the significant evidence being found on him still being alive. You gotta remember, it's Hollywood, anything could happen and anything could be true. You tell me me what you believe in the comments.